Alrighty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. So, some good news and things that we found out yesterday while we were streaming. Again, I'm going to butcher this name. I'm going to try to say it and forgive me for messing this up. Ken, if I'm not mistaken. The guy on Twitch yesterday while we were streaming came in and gave us some very useful information on how to farm and the best way to farm the dog coin. I know that that is a big problem, and for people that are out here struggle busting on it, I was in the same position. Can't really find it that often, and usually it only drops from the mimic chest, Mimong. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna call it the mimic chest. So these guys here. So these guys drop the coin, but only if you kill them. Can't butcher them. It's already stated in the coin itself. Most people know this because, you know, people actually read. My dyslexic rear end does not. But as you can see here, it even says a mystery coin. Apparently there are people who collect these. A Mimong usually have them, but for some reason they cannot be obtained by butchering it. So they previously stated that on the coin itself, and I never read that, but we like butchered a couple of them just to see what happened, and yeah, that's why I never put out that video specifically, because it did not work. But this is a good way to farm for them, because there's an area in which they spawn in at a very low or a lower level, rather pretty low level, as low as level 12, and they are consistently through here, and it's very easy to spot them. If you go over here to the small volcano, basically that one crack that lines up this thing, there are spawn points over here, because the mimic chest can spawn anywhere on the map. There are spawn points over here specifically that are in the lava. So you can literally just fly up and down, back and forth, and start seeing tick marks that are hitting, and that's your mimic chest. So we'll go over here and demonstrate this real quick. One thing that I'm going to add as well is, if you want to accelerate the amount that you're getting, it is a neutral pal, the Blazehound Knock. While fighting together, neutral pals drop more items when defeated. Now the number is random, but usually it doubles. And with this, I think it's like a 50% or higher percent chance, an 80% chance. I can't remember what the percentages was. It's been so long since I did that video. I'll leave that video in the description of this video, or at least at the end of the video, so you guys can click on it and watch it, me doing the review on this. But he does force stuff to be dropped at a higher volume, so that is an option for you. But in all honesty, you're probably you can find them quick enough and well enough off to where that's not necessary during this. But I guess if you want to maximize the profits, then you can do that. But essentially, you just kind of stroll up and down this this area here, this little line of lava, and go as far away as you can for them to respawn and everything. Oh, if you guys didn't know this, by the way, this is a new event here. They literally have like bosses at random that have multi eggs in their stashes. I had this happen with one of the new like scorpion looking dudes, not Menacing, but the other dude. I can't remember the name, but there's a bunch of these bee guards and stuff, and it's literally a boss fight, which is pretty cool. I, however, don't really have anything to fight against it, except for grenade launcher. Ooh, all the bee guards are going nuts. But yeah, you can kill those off, and I think these are huge eggs, so these are probably Elizabeths that are in here. You guys could grab these if you wanted to. That's just up to you guys. But yeah, that's like a little mini event that happens now along the way. Ooh. There's just dog coin randomly here as well. Might have been a chest dude that they went after. But yes, on to the show. Like I said, kind of go over here and get out of range where stuff is not spawned in over by Yorman, and then kind of go back over and just go up and down the area. Now, like I said, you can maximize this by taking and using the Blazehound Knock, but this is literally simple enough as it is. Because of the spawn locations of the kelp seas and other random things, and since they're fire-based, they will spawn in the lava. Those mimic chests actually end up spawning in the lava as well, so it's a pretty easy way to detect them, especially if you're having trouble. Like even right there, I think that's one. Nope, that's just a regular chest. I would suggest not to be so tedious with it, because I did that at first, and you find them pretty consistently. But at the same time, if you want to be quick about it and not be just standing around the whole time, then you can literally just fly up and down here, and eventually you'll see a couple of them maybe on the side or something like that. But yeah, these are the spawn locations of the mimic chests. The same at night as it is during the day. Actually, at night they tend to spawn heavily in the desert area as well, so that's interesting to know. But during the day, they're on the back side of the desert, the big desert at least. There's one. So I did bring over Big Kitty just for a second to see if maybe we could use him to get more out of this. But I've been over here for like almost 20 minutes and none of them had spawned until I went back and switched out the Big Kitty for a couple of these guys. So there might be a bit of validity behind this. A buddy of mine who plays D&D told me something along the lines of some like D&D lore about Mimic Chest, and I'm just testing this now, and I'm not sure if there's any validity behind it, but we'll check it out real quick. But at least, I mean, I got back over here, and the first second that I got back over here, there is one. So, and just for reference, we did start out at about 300 and something, and now we're at 400 and something. Now, again, I do have 3 times drop rate on. The only other thing that I think that you could do to increase this amount is if you do have control over your single player world and you're looking to just farm these chests, is turn up the PAL appearance rate all the way, and you'll probably get 3 of those to spawn in at a time. So that would help out as well. Look, see, there's another one. So yeah, I think having that neutral, the dark PAL on might not allow them to spawn, because I guess the game might know what you're doing. I've been over here for like less than 2 minutes since I tried that, and I got, like I said, those other chests on me, the other mimics. We got another one here. So yeah, one thing that I will suggest, do not carry a Blazehound Noct with you, or anything that gives extra stuff from neutral pals, because there might be something in the coding that avoids stuff. Because I was, like I said, I was over here for almost like 20 minutes straight, and I didn't see a single one when I had the dark pal on me, and I literally switched him out, and now we're seeing them everywhere. And there's another one. So yeah, we found about 5 in like a good like 10 minutes, and we went from 490 something to 711. Again, I guess the only ways that you could really do this is by manipulating the game settings to get more. The 3 times drop, like that's going to be definitely easier to grind this stuff, but this is probably the most consistent spot that I've seen where they've spawned as consistent as they have been. And it's a decently flat area. It's fairly open. There's no like trees to block your sight like it is up in the newer area with the blossom area. If you do not have the option to turn up the PAL appearance rate, then I mean, that is what it is. Or if you don't want to do that, then again, that's understandable. But this is still probably the best place to grind for them. And in all honesty, regardless of what you do, they were very clever the way that they put this together to make you have to grind for that coin, because the stuff that you can get with it is really, really good. You can buy the skill fruits with it, you can buy, or the IV fruits with it, you can buy upgrades for yourself. They definitely wanted to make it to where you had to grind. Well, there you go. This will be the last one that we get. But yeah, just to show you that it can be done, and it's pretty consistent as well. This is a great place to farm for them. Again, I'm not sure how much validity is behind the fact of having the chest on you might increase the appearance rate, but it was about at the same pace that it is right now when I came over here the other day while we were on stream, and I didn't have any of the chest on me, any of the mimics at least. So yeah, good luck grinding with that. It will take some time. You're not going to get this stuff overnight, and you're not going to make millions of it, unfortunately. One thing that I will mention is that I have not turned up the PAL appearance rate on this world, but by a little bit, to the point to where some of them kind of come up. It's at like a 1.5, I think. It's enough for most things to come where they would be in 2 packs, or 2 in a pack, it'd be 3. But even with the mimic chests, they don't spawn more of them. I imagine that it would be like the bosses. Once you go over 2% or +2, then you get double the amount. If you turn it up to 3, then you might get 3 chests that spawn in one area. We'll have to test that just to make sure, but as of right now, that would be the best way to do it to get more coin and to turn up your drop rate. Moving along. On to the other bit of news. Knocklem. So we ended up getting pretty good IVs on this one. We maxed them out entirely, put souls in them, and condensed them fully. This thing is absolutely bananas. This will be the character that I'm going to be using in the second set of the fight against Ryu. If you're wondering how I got Legend and Earth Emperor on him, pretty simple. It is a Anubis with a Frost Stallion Noct to transfer the Earth Emperor over to a Elizabeth, and then once you have the Elizabeth, breed it with a Grizzbolt, and you have Knocklem. Knocklem. And luckily, I've bred a bunch of stuff prior, so it was pretty simple for me to get this stuff on there. Otherwise, you're just going to have to breed for the traits, and you can do this kind of stuff. I'm sure you have a beefed up Anubis somewhere with Earth Emperor, and if you have that, then this will make it even simpler. But then after that, I had to breed for the IVs, which is usual with this stuff. But this thing is just pure insanity when it comes to its overall power. As of right now, the attack power is at 1815, right? Not the highest, not the greatest, but still really good attack power. The defense is really what we're looking for on this, because when it comes to any of the raids, we have already discovered that defense is a big part of those raids, because you're looking for cannon fodder, and if they can't survive, then it's going to be all concentrated on you. So at that point, it's going to be more difficult for you to do the damage. So what I had done here is we decided to go ahead and take and beef him up even further by putting and maxing out some Doomuds, because Doomuds, as we know, while in team, increases attack power of ground pals. So we could get more attack power out of that by quad stacking him. Now, with that being said, we can also feed him a cheeseburger. This is our usual routine when it comes to this in particular stuff, when we're quad stacking and trying to see how much power we can actually kick out of this. But even with the quad stack of the Doomuds, we're at 2,670. When we feed him a cheeseburger, now we're at 3,203. Now, the thing about Knocklem is that he has an ability, kind of like how Gory Rat does with his increase to attack power. He also increases his defense. So how much do you think it's going to be? Place your bets now, because you will not believe this. After it is activated, we're sitting at now 5,767 attack power with 3,744 defense. This is absolutely bananas. This isn't even a perfect, but this is a really good IV build, and this is just insanity. And good news for you all who did not know this, they did not fix the dropping of the pals. Unless you favored it. If you favored it, then you're not going to be able to drop it. But you can drop the pals still, pick them up, throw them back out, hit the button again, and there you go. So they didn't fix the dropping the pals and being able to reset their power. So this is pretty ridiculous, and I will show you how ridiculous this is. Before I go out there, I did want to discuss this as well. Between the refrigerated food box and the cooling version of the crusher, I'm not sure if it's more efficient. I literally haven't tried it, but it just requires a cold pal instead, or a freezer pal instead of a water pal. And the only other difference is with this is that you can take and use like pal spheres that you have that are extra to grind up into pal fragments, and you can also use meteors. I think you could use meteors on the other one anyway. Maybe not. Someone had said that you could use coal, or you can use ore to grind it into, and the other pal spheres. I don't see where you could use coal, but yeah, you guys get it. So there's not really any like huge benefit of having this thing. I think if you already have the system going with the old system, I think you'll be all right. It's not that big of a deal. As far as the cold box, again, this is going to require another freezer pal. So this is just taking up room with your pal area. But since you can have 50, this is completely up to you. If you're in a official server, good luck. I wouldn't suggest using this, because if you are using the refrigerators, then you're just going to be pulling up another freezer pal and having to use that. But entirely up to you. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's worth it to use that, but regardless, moving right along. We're going to test this on Orzic Tower Boss, just to show how much power is involved with this. Now, as far as his abilities, his exclusive skill is pretty hard-hitting, and his sand twister's pretty good as well. This is something that you could put on anything, but instead of running rock lance or rock burst, I've been using the sand tornado. But for this one, we will use rock burst to kind of see how much better it is, if it is worth it to use that. I don't think it is. I think sand tornado is more consistent, and being able to put that out there fairly quickly for what it's worth. This is the regular boss, not the hard version, so as you can see, a lot of damage. He just did 30k with that one hit. And there's another one with the rock burst. And you can see he's not taking any damage from him. And there you go. We beat Axel and Oryx in less than a minute. And like I said, I don't know of any other PAL that can hit this high of an attack power, given it is his special ability. But even with that, the only thing that I could think that hits even closer to that is the Gory Rat after you activate his, which could be up to 4,000 something. But 5,000, nearly 6,000 attack power is absolutely insane. So this was actually really fun to figure out, and he's actually useful against other pals. We did take him yesterday against the tower boss of the new area, and he managed to survive with some manipulations, of course, as far as going against her, because she hits like a truck. If you haven't fought against her, I went against her with my fully upgraded Shadow Beak with a full Hooker T stack behind him, and he got obliterated quite a few times before I figured out how to manipulate the situation. Nonetheless, even if we drop one of the Doomuds off, like he's still at nearly 3,000 attack power, and we put him out and activate his stuff, we're still at 5,510. And that is with the burger running. So let's just take him over here to Paudius and Necromus and see how he does. Ooh, did we get a meteor? That is a meteor. We might actually get our final dude that we have been missing this whole time. Yes! There's 3 of them. Is there 4 of them? Well, that's good news. Now we don't have to worry about that. All right, we finally got our final dude. While on team, increased damage dealt to ore, and is easier to obtain meteor fragments. Lumbering 2, transporting 2. So now we have all of the pals except for Ryu, the only one we're missing right now. So they can be found during the day. We just discovered that. I think I found that out the first time that I found them on the other map that I was on, or other world. But I went to that one spot over here in this lower area, and every time I went there, it was just time after time again, it was just supply drops. Let's go ahead and feed me a rush ore hot dog, and we'll feed him another burger just to crank his stuff up, and we will see how he does against Paudius and Necromus. He hasn't even got his stronghold activated. Now he does. Appears that he is stuck. Apparently he's stuck twice. What are you doing, brother? He ended up dying. That's unfortunate, but he ate a lot of damage. Usually I have to do a lot of manipulation with this, but we cut them both down pretty quickly and without even like, you know, manipulating the situation at all. I just wanted to see how much damage he could actually take. I love how Lulu is so tiny and cute and just picks up Jet Dragon with like no effort. Get in bed, you're hurt. So yeah, just kind of wanted to show how much damage he could actually take in that in particular instance. And yeah, you could tell like he did a lot of damage and took a lot of damage as well. And I didn't pull him back in or anything like that. Like we just straight up threw him out there, let him do his work, and was trying to see what he could do. But yes, other than that, if you guys enjoy my content, drop a sub. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you guys have any more suggestions, maybe where we can farm the dog coin from the mimic chest, then by all means, drop it in the comments down below. Other than that, keep you willy washed, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.